بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. O Allah, we ask you to teach us or benefit us and let us benefit from what we learn and increase our knowledge. Today, inshallah, we will continue our series of the halaqas and lesson knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is lesson number 32. Today, inshallah, we are going to talk about one of Allah's name and character that is mentioned quite a bit in the Quran. Today's name, Al-Aziz. And this name is mentioned a lot in the Quran, and it is usually sometimes quite a bit of time associated with other names. And some of the English translations, the Almighty, Al-Aziz, the Invulnerable, also mentioned, but Almighty probably would be the best one to work with as far as translation, Al-Aziz. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَإِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Also Allah said, لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم. There is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He is the Almighty, the All-Wise. In the Arabic language, the translation of Al-Aziz has kind of several meanings. It means something is rare. Something Aziz is something rare. Something is much needed. Everybody needs it, or a lot of people needs it. And something is difficult to get to. It's Aziz. It's in a high status. Between people we use the word Aziz Ali or Aziz, that's mean you're close to me, but that's nothing even close to this. The meaning of Al-Aziz, Allah's names. Now, what does Al-Aziz mean? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Al-Aziz, and the first meanings of this name, Almighty, is that nothing is like Him. Nothing is like Him. So trying to think or imagine any entity that is even close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it just doesn't work. Nothing like Him. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ in the Quran Karim. There is none who can contend Him. Nothing, nobody can stand up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا ند له. And this is a very important concept to understand about Al-Aziz, about Allah's character. Because as you go on the road of believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the road of Iman, the shaitan can bring some of these thoughts and some of these ideas, so you really need to have an understanding about Allah Al-Aziz. And we need to think about this slowly. I'm going to speak slowly. One of the meaning of Al-Aziz, we already said nothing like Him, nothing can withstand to Him, but also it is impossible to know everything about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody, no one, nothing knows everything about Allah except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other important piece of information is that what we know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in general is very, very little. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran al-Kareem, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلُ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. This is a very, very important point to understand. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. So, it's mentioned in one of the books that the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to His creation, gave to us, is like if you take a needle, a sewing needle, and you dip it in the ocean, which is 70% I think of the earth. You just dip it in the ocean and bring it back up. And when you bring it back up to the air, see how much water that little needle returned or retained on its surface. You estimate that's how much we know. And the ocean is Allah's knowledge, and in addition, the ocean of Allah's knowledge has no limits, as we learned from a previous name, Al-Wasi'. So this is how much we know. Now think slowly, intellectually and peacefully. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Take one of the characters that we studied so far. Pick up anyone. Al-Alim, the all-knowing. Simple definition of Al-Alim: Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. You teach that for the kids. You grow up a little bit. He knows what's obvious, what's hidden, and what you're thinking. You raise up in your understanding. He knows what happened. He knows what's happening. He knows what will happen. And He knows if something would happen, how it will happen. So just think about a little bit about this meaning. See how much you know? This is just a little bit of His knowledge. That's what He let us know about His knowledge. But His knowledge is a lot more than what I just talked about. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. So don't think that when we study the name Al-Alim and we know all this, now we know everything about Allah's knowledge. You only know little. That's what Allah is telling you. So even though He told us all of these things about His knowledge, this is one of His characters, it's very little. Try to put the two together. Al-Alim. All these things we studied. This is just a small part, like a needle. You put it in the ocean, it comes back up. How much water? This is what we know about His one character, Al-Alim, that He let us know. And the ocean with no limit is another Al-Alim. Is the completion of His Al-Alim, and nobody knows it except Him. Al-Aziz, the Almighty. To simplify it to you and so you won't get frustrated. In this ayah, Allah says, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلُ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. At the time of the Prophet, people there, they ask, well, what is this ruh? And look what the challenge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us. We as a human, something we have all the time, something keeps us alive. It never leaves us. When it leaves us, we're dead. And we have no clue about what it is. The soul, the ruh. Why? Because He said, when they ask you about it, this is my business. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And we don't know. And people try to, and there's no proof. You can say whatever you say. And this is with you all the time. It never leaves you, and you have no idea what it is. So, when people start asking questions about Allah's characters, you need to be very careful. You need to be polite. We only learn what Allah told us. Nobody can come in and say, oh, maybe He is this way. No. Only what's mentioned in the Quran and the true authenticated Sunnah. Beyond that, not acceptable. How He knows and how He doesn't know. Did He tell us? No. You stop. You want to go and ask, go for it. Because you're going to get lost like the rest of them. He gave you enough knowledge to know Him enough, to worship Him enough, to get closer to Him, and to win His mercy and His Jannah. We are creatures. So, part of the meaning of Al-Aziz is that nothing can know everything about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another meaning of Al-Aziz, that He is the dominant, the predominant. He is the victorious. He has a full power and control of everything. And nobody can match it. And nobody can be victorious with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very important concept. He has the perfect absolute power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, وَاللَّهُ غَالِبٌ عَلَىٰ أَمْرِهِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is dominant. He has the full power and control over everything. But a lot of people don't know. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned quite a bit of times about أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. A lot of people don't know. And this is a little bit of assurance for the people who follow Allah's way. That's always few. Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people follow Allah's way all the way. Because sometimes, you see people who really practice in Islam the way it's supposed to be as much as they can. Very few around. So don't get disappointed. Because Allah is telling you. Only a few people follow that. So don't be discouraged. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has dominant over all His affairs. So no one else can interfere with Allah's will. No one else can interfere with what Allah wants to do and does not want to do. He also told us in one of His laws in this universe, وَإِنَّ جُنْدَنَا لَهُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. Our soldiers are the ones who's going to win, are the ones who are going to dominate, are the one who's going to be victorious. When we say, the word soldiers here does not mean carrying weapon and fighting. This is a small meaning of that. Junduna is the one who follow Allah's way all the way. So, when we are not victorious, we are not the dominant power in the world like we used to be, where is the problem? Is the problem in this ayah? Allah says, Junduna, my soldiers, not every soldiers. So that's mean the problem is if we are not victorious is us. There's nothing wrong with this law. Law has two parts, us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we don't follow Allah's way all the way, when Islam only comes down to salah, siyam, taraweeh, zakah, convention here, convention there, and that's it. This is not Islam. This is part of Islam. Very small part that will not give you victorious. If you pray, but then go out and do haram things in any way in your life, you can take your prayer with you. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us here. So that's another meaning of al-ghalib. What Allah wants happen, not what people want. Sometimes, people's what they want seems like it happened because Allah wanted to, for an absolute perfect wisdom that He has. Another meaning of Al-Aziz, Almighty. يحتاجه كل شيء في كل شيء. Everything needs Allah. Listen carefully. Everything needs Allah for everything. I need a plumber to fix the plumbing, not the electrical. Everything needs Allah for everything. What's that mean? What's that translate into? The atom and what we know about it might change in the future. The atoms, the little things that makes our body, makes everything else that we can't see, we have to use magnifying glasses that Allah gave us the permission to know that. That little things, little cells, the cold, it needs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The viruses, the illnesses that cause, the viruses and the small organisms, the bacteria that cause illnesses, it needs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The universe, the sky, the sun, the moon, the galaxy that we learned about a little bit in the past needs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything. So one of the meaning of Al-Aziz, Almighty, that everything needs Allah for everything. Our new president needs Allah for everything. To keep him alive. To give him the power to do whatever he wants to do. Can't do it by himself. Or whomever helping him. The things that's happening in the Middle East, the killing and all that stuff, needs Allah's power. Everything needs Allah for everything. There's nothing in this universe can run without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's one part of the name Al-Aziz. Everything needs Him for everything. The characters of the matter. Any matter you look at, the tire in your car, the way it operates, it needs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to work that way. So you can't escape from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everywhere you turn, everywhere you think, whatever you hear, whatever you smell, it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it all needs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another meaning of Al-Aziz, the Almighty, He is the one who gives honors and high status to whomever He wills. And He is the one who humiliates and demean whomever He wants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء. It can't be more simplified than this. Say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the king of everything. He gives power and kingdom to whomever He will. He takes it away. You want to call it kingdom, you want to call it presidency, you want to call it ownership, whatever you want to call it. Al-Mulk, something you own. It's only given by Allah. It's only taken away by Allah. And He is the one who honors, makes somebody well respected, makes somebody in high status in the society. Only Allah does that. He is also the one who will humiliate and demean anybody who wills. So what's that mean? That means if the whole universe made a plan for you to hurt you or to benefit you, unless Allah wants it, it will not happen. So do what you're supposed to be doing. Make sure your relationship with the one who is everything in His hand, you're good with Him, don't worry about the rest. It is mentioned a very informative information. It was mentioned in the past that they say, إِذَا عَصَانِي مَنْ يَعْرِفُنِي صَلَّطْتُ عَلَيْهِ مَنْ لَا يَعْرِفُنِي. And subhanAllah, this is a very reality these days. What this says is, whomever disobey me, and he knows me, or she knows me. That means you were introduced to Allah His way, and you said, no, not for me. Then Allah, yu'izzu wa yudil, in the whole universe in His hand, He will put someone on you, control your life, take affair of your life that does not know Him. And if somebody doesn't know Allah, they can do anything. They don't believe in Allah, they don't believe in their judgment, so their action of bad things is much higher than somebody who knows Allah. So Allah is telling you, the one who disobey me and knows me, I'll send him one of my creatures, one of my creations, that who doesn't know me, to teach him a lesson. Because He is in control of everything. Al-Aziz, Almighty. So what do you think we should be with one? With the Aziz? With the Almighty? So this is a brief sum of the main meanings of Al-Aziz. It's always really good to, if you can summarize them in a piece of paper, you don't have to the whole thing memorize, but at least have an idea of every time you read the Quran and the name Al-Aziz, you can stop for a few seconds and remember that it's nothing like Him. I can't know everything about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My knowledge about Him, remember that needle was dipped in the ocean. This is how much I know about His mightiness, every character and everything else. He is the one that has full control and power of everything. He gives and takes everything from everybody. Everything needs Him for everything. Very small sentences. If you think about it just a little bit, it makes you feel good. And this is not something to make you feel good. This is not something somebody made up. This is reality. To believe it or not to believe it, to digest it, not to digest it, that's your problem. This is reality. Okay, this is not a little bit of pleasure makes you feel good after you hear that and then you walk away and forget about it. No, this is you live it every second. It's not a piece of cake, you eat it, you feel the sweetness the first couple of seconds and it goes away. The sweetness of these names, it's all from his book. Now, if you don't believe in his book, I do apologize. You don't have to believe in any of that. You go believe whatever you believe. But if you are a true Muslim and you believe that the Quran is his manual, this is what he's telling you about him. Don't you want to know about him? The man who created the whole universe? A practical application of this name, in addition to these, is that the true believer does not become submissive to anything or anybody in any way. No. He or she are polite, respectful. Somebody did something good to you, you say thank you. You do your job the way you're supposed to. Not arrogant, not, but there's no submission or acting a little low or cowardness when they are faced with forces and powerful things. They have an internal connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this name Al-Aziz, because they know that the matter is in Allah's hand. Now, maybe this person or that group or this government or this agency or this company now has the power to do, that's fine. You respect that. But it's all after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is way. There are, some people who, when they get squeezed, they act like they worship that person or they worship that agency or they worship. That's not one of the true believers' characters. They're polite, they're not like you walk everywhere and say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I mean, if people don't know Allah, they don't. That's not right. Okay, you just do the right thing at the right time. Al-hikmah. وَادْعُوا إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Tell people about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the proper, good way. Why? Because Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. The dominant, the victorious is to Allah, His Prophet, and the true believers. So if you have a doubt internally that you are not victorious, even though you might be in prison tortured, okay, or whatever, but internally you don't feel victorious, there's a problem with your beliefs. People before us were burned because they say La ilaha illallah. You read the history of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the previous prophets. Bad times is normal, is something usual when you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today in Isha prayer, our Shaykh also recited Surah Al-Buruj, which is one of the stories about these times where people were burned because they say La ilaha illallah. Burned. So even though if you have a hard time and you don't feel victorious inside, you need to review your beliefs in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, always remember another meaning of Allah, of the name Al-Aziz, Almighty, that you can't know everything about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only you stay with the Quran, the true authenticated Sunnah. Another very important aspect, and I want to close our halaqah today, and it really needs to be understood and digested really well. Al-Aziz also means something very high. Like when we did the linguistic meanings in Arabic, something rare, everything needs them, everything is Aziz. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Aziz. And in order to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to win His love and to win His acceptance and to win His Jannah, you have to act like you are seeking the Almighty. Seeking Almighty is not 2 rak'ahs, siyam, couple of dollars, and that's it. Seeking Almighty, that's mean your whole entire life change according to His way. If you don't do that, you're wasting your time. In real life, if in your studies, in your job, whatever you want to do, let's say you want to apply for a position CEO, president of a company, a big company. What kind of qualification they want from you? You can't just, with the high school diploma, have no prior experience of anything, go down there, fill out application, and say, I want to be the CEO of one of the largest companies. It doesn't work that way. So if you are seeking to be with the Almighty, not a company, the Almighty. So think about the requirements. And this is part of the misery that we live in, some Muslims these days. We have even the most powerful, perfect book, it doesn't even get close to describe the Quran in our hands. How many tafsirs? Yet, with all due respect, we are not number one in the world. Why? Because seeking Almighty Al-Aziz takes a lot more than just what we're doing. SubhanAllah, in the Muslim countries, there's masajid, mosques everywhere. You get out of one mosque, you look around, you see the other one. The countries that's been destroyed right now by its own people, it's full of masajid. But it's not the masajid, it's the people who build the masjid. And this is one very important. If you are seeking Al-Aziz, the Almighty, there are qualifications. Allah only take the best. And don't tell me I can and I can't. Allah will never ask you to be one of His soldiers, true soldiers, if you can't. Everybody can. No matter who you are, what nationality, what you speak, what time you live in, what economical, educational, social status you're in. Everybody has the qualification to be a true soldier of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Soldier does not mean go fight. That's in advance. Soldier means following Allah's way. All the way, in all aspects of your life. Everybody can do it. It's just your choice. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not asking you to do something that is beyond anybody's capacity to do it. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.